game just underway in Buffalo as the Maple Leafs have their second-to-last game of the season. A single point tonight will clinch their first ever Atlantic Division title. In across the line, off the stick of Marner, cleared back out at center ice. Almost a breakaway opportunity, but Nyes is back-checking. Broke up the rush as the Leafs defense was right in the middle of a change. Now Tavares in on the wing. Centering pass! Shot wide of the goal by Domi, and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen was in another area code. And back to retrieve it is Connor Clifton for Buffalo. Clifton to center. In on the far boards. Centering pass into the slot. Little toe drag move and a good save made by Stolarz. Wrist shot by Alex Tuch. But Anthony Stolarz comes up big and makes the save.
Both Stolarz and Joseph Wall have been outstanding.
Here the Sabres coming out in front of the net with a shot. And that was stopped as Ryan McLeod was allowed to come right out in front. Again, scratches tonight, all expected to be fine and ready to go in the postseason. Wrap around a tip, comes in front of the goal, banging away at it down as Stolarz got the left pad down and made the save. Here are the Sabres with it again. Stolarz trying to get a stick but can't. Shot stopped by Stolarz, leaves clear and get it out at center ice. Good pressure here from Buffalo. Bernard Docker with a long shoot in, and Stolarz makes that save. Stolarz lost his stick, and then it got cleared into the corner by one of the Sabres, and Stolarz had to go and get it in the face-off circle and then scamper back and had to make a glove save just as he got back into the crease. Back of the net in the offensive zone. Here's Pontus Holmberg fanning on a shot. Got it back to the point. Long shot! Whoa! Luukkonen got a piece of that, but he didn't know how much he had. Did about a 360 spinorama, hoping not to see it behind him, and it was caught up in his equipment somewhere. For their final game against Detroit, which is Thursday, on whether anybody will be able to be rested.
We got a penalty here for high sticking.
Played ahead by the Leafs to the line, and a penalty coming to Buffalo. Left wing boards. Brought it back into the slot for Marner, closing with a pass in, and it deflected wide of the goal. Marner getting it back into the slot, a one-timer on the far side, and Luukkonen comes across and makes his best save off Austin Matthews. Puck kept in by Toronto. Nylander back to Marner, wrist shot coming, rebound in front of the goal. Luukkonen again gets there with Nyes on the doorstep. It goes around the boards to the far side, trapped over there by Byram, but knocked off his stick into center. Here's McMahon trying to push in, and a penalty coming in the centering pass, and that was kicked away by Luukkonen off the stick of Pontus Holmberg, and the Sabres have touched it. So, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Leafs get their second power play.
And they win the draw in the centering pass. Oh, and a wicked shot by Matthews explodes off the glass just over top of the net. Now, again, back to Marner. Marner on the near boards. A pass in front of it. Tavares, a shot. The rebound was knocked wide of the goal. Dropping it back for Robertson. In on the left wing it goes. Domi cutting to the net. He's in a goal! And he backhanded it just wide of the near post. Great rush there by Max Domi. Leafs get it back into neutral ice. Brought on by Lawton. 2-on-1 break. Lawton's in a goal! And he shot it over top of the goal.
Boy, it was a 2-on-1, but Lawton made the right play, holding on to it.
Played out at center, and Matthews has it again. Got it to Marner, cutting in. Marner centers in front of the goal. They bang away at it. Somehow, Luukkonen got a pad down to stop that. Another great scoring chance. Here's Jack Quinn. Getting it ahead at center across the line for Ryan McLeod, and a shot blockered away nicely there by Stolarz. Pinching in is Samuelson from the point, but the Leafs come up with it, and a bank pass to center finds Marner. A little play between his legs there to now knife it down into the corner. Now stolen by Nyes to Matthews, shooting, and he waited too long maybe and gave Luukkonen a time to come telegraphing out to make the save. Sabres back in their own zone. The pass up on the right wing and in across the line. Peterka with a shot off the shoulder, off the mask of goaltender. But here's Nylander coming back the other way, and and he ripped it wide. Nylander back to the blue line. Riley with a wrist shot, gloved by Luukkonen. And now, well, he's got the mask completely off now.
And Stolarz right away put his hand up, and it looked like both of the straps
popped off,
came undone below each ear. And I think Stolarz is still yelling, and then realizes the Leafs have got something going at the other end of the ice.
Well, he could have thrown the mask out around the blue line had the puck turned over, right? Up ahead to the line and in on the right side. Yarncrook sends it around the boards. It'll find Lorenz in the far corner. Back behind the net. Lawton comes out of the corner. Centers in front. They score! Lorenz set up by Scotty Lawton. And the fourth line gets the job done and gets the Leafs on the board.
And this was a sniper's goal. A one-timer by Lawton in the left wing circle. Or pardon me, by Lorenz in the left wing circle. Lawton does all the work in the corner.
And you can hear the Leaf fans chanting in the background. Domi sends it back into the corner. Tavares got lifted off his skates by Rasmus Dahlin. And the Sabres are breaking it out at center ice and getting it in over the line. Pass on the right side for McLeod. Coming out in front and a shot, and Stolarz. Now on turnover. Leaf back in with Matthews. Into the slot now for Nyes. To Marner. To Matthews. Shot it high. That, I think, might have gone off the mask of Luukkonen. Centering pass. Marner is stopped by Luukkonen. Sends it around, but the Leafs are there again with Riley. Riley into the slot. Matthews whipped it over top of the goal. How many shot attempts has he had? Here's Matthews again. Stopped on the short side by Luukkonen. Long shoot in, goes down in on the zone. Oh, and that was stopped. Another save made by Stolarz. Puck is cleared away into the corner. Good opportunities for Buffalo, and Stolarz comes up with two big saves. And here are the Sabres in across the line. Tage Thompson got it back to the point. The wrist shot is blocked away. Nice rebound into the chest of Stolarz, and he covers up on that as Rasmus Dahlin stepped into one. Get it up on the right wing side and in across the line for Lafferty. Long shot, well wide, is going to carry him all the way back out at center, and racing after it, Bobby McMahon. McMahon in on the backhand, tries to center in front, he did! And a shot by Robertson was stopped by Luukkonen. And the Sabres win the draw, but they are able to keep the puck in. Domi, though, tops it out. And now Willie's got a breakaway. Nylander in on goal. Shoots. Glove save made by Luukkonen. And he's able to cover up on a loose puck subsequently. Face off in the Sabres zone. Launched high.
Toronto, 88, 2-minute minor, high sticking.
Peterka back to the point. Dahlin, a shot knocked down in front of the goal. Another shot stopped by Stolarz. Oh, that net was empty until he flashed that left pad out and made a big save on Peterka. Tuck works down into the right wing corner. Banks it back to the point. Peterka to Dahlin. Back to Peterka. And again, Stolarz comes across. Went into the left wing half boards. Broken up, but it comes back to the blue line. Broken up again by the Leafs, but they don't get it cleared. It'll come to shot, blockered away nicely there by Stolarz. Penalty is over. Puck into along the boards near side. Benoit knocks his man down. McMahon, who's had a couple of good chances. Centering pass by McMahon to Robertson, and Luukkonen made a good glove save there. Dahlin. A long lead pass trying to explode out in front of the net there. Coming in off the wing was Lafferty. Leafs are going to flip it into the left wing corner. Trying to get there now is Lawton. Lawton is jammed to the boards with a pretty hefty hit. Lorenz backhands high into the Buffalo zone. Lawton. Little turnaround fair play there as he took a healthy run at the Sabre defenseman. Chips it back to the blue line. D to D it comes to Riley. Riley back in for Marner. Marner stops on the half board. Centering pass! Now to Peterka at the near half wall. He works it back into the corner. Centering pass! Oh, and a quick shot taken there by Jack Quinn. Just went over top of the Leaf goal. Cleared to the blue line. And Matthews gets it ahead to Marner with one man back. Marner in for Matthews! Scooped away and knocked it back. And then it comes out in front. Luukkonen didn't see it. Great opportunity for Matthews, who center. They score! Marner scores! 100 points! Marner with the goal and a 2-0 lead!
It looked like he had it seconds before, and a great feed to Austin Matthews. Matthews' shot doesn't go. But the Leafs, Matthews and Marner in a 2-on-1. And it went off Lukin and up in the air. And then Matthews was able to knock it down off the boards.
As the Sabres get it to center and now across the line. Kulich works in, trying to drive the net with Benson. It comes in front of the goal. Down to Stolarz. He stopped that. They're still looking for the puck. And Anthony Stolarz has stuffed it down at front of the net. Sabres win the draw, and a wrist shot is blocked, but kept in by Thompson. Pad save, rebound. Oh, and Stolarz went across and made the save. He's without a stick now, though. Pushing the line, Darlene. One-timer on the far side. Pad save, Stolarz. Rebound in front. Stolarz again. What a save that was. Cleared to the line, not out. Thompson a drive. Stolarz, stop that. Thompson again with it. Near side. Pass intercepted. Leafs get it ahead. Marner to Lawton. Lawton to Marner. Dropping it back instead of shooting it was now Matthews. Still with it. Shoots and scores. Someone needed to decide who needed the next point.
Boy, Lawton had the chance, decides, no, I'm going to give it to Marner, who says, no, I'm going to give it to Matthews. Leafs ended up coughing it up before Matthews got it back. I think it's going to be an unassisted goal now.
And McMahon gets it ahead and down into Buffalo territory. Here's Robertson in alone, scores! The floodgates have opened in Buffalo. And the little shop of horrors is no longer. Nick Robertson makes it 4-0.
Players are going to be over-asked about something that happened 25 years ago. That
none of them were, half of them weren't even born yet.
Yeah.
They're going to have to drag Darcy and everybody else out of it. Final seconds tick down. Anthony Stolarz, another shutout, back-to-back. The Maple Leafs win it by a score of 4-0. They are Atlantic Division champions.